Well, Merry Christmas and a Happy New... Stop stalling with your asinine pleasantries, you massive twat! Put us out of our misery and tell us about some good games from 2024 that aren't arsing Astro bloody bot! I know, right? I'm surprised the Game Awards even had time to give Hideo Kojima his customary kiss on the bell end, with all the time it was spending climbing up and down Astrobot's dick. Alright, fine. Without further ado, let's distract ourselves from Sony's autofellatio habits with the customary fully Ramblomatic top 5, bottom 5 and Blandest 5 for the year 2024. Starting as always with 5th best, which is... oh, for Christ's sake. Yes, alright, it might represent Sony smarmily jerking off over a back catalogue that it itself has mostly banished to the non-backwards compatible black hole of buggery, but get past all that and it's a fun, well-designed platformer with impressive tech. So here's another little prize for it that it can use to hold the door open while it's bringing in Jeff Keighley's industrial-sized blowjob machine. As always, games become shoo-ins for the bland list whenever I struggle to remember anything that happened in them, so here's Phantom Fury. Actually, I remember one thing. I remember a 90s-style wacky fun retro shooter trying to simultaneously be a 2000s-style chin-strokey depressing shooter and ending up a great big empty spunk bubble that doesn't belong anywhere, except in some spunk. More and more, Nintendo's output has been reflecting a sort of we're number one, so why try harder attitude, mainly in Pokemon games, but that vibe's definitely crept into Echoes of Wisdom. Spicing up the Zelda franchise is going to take more than doing the same shit as always, but with the debug tools left on, especially when the design numbers add up like a presidential tax return. Concluding the yes alright the Game Awards get it right sometimes component of the top 5, metaphor refer to my previous email is a stylish Persona-adjacent fantasy romp, let down just a little by being a bit dry and a bit standard as far as JRPG settings go, angry democracy sky dad notwithstanding. Apparently, Dragon Age Veilguard went through a lot of reworking, even being envisioned as an online live service at some point, hence the trailer looking more like a hero shooter than most hero shooters do. Whatever the case, the final game certainly does give off a strong vibe of being uncomfortable in its own skin, like an uncircumcised penis with claustrophobia. The more I think about Slitherhead, the less I like it in retrospect. Yes, it's got ideas and evokes the creativity golden age of the PS2 era, but I think even back then I'd have said the same thing about it. To wit, fighting the weirdly talkative praying mantis dude wasn't particularly scary or interesting the first 19 times you made me do it. There's only one thing I like more than word puzzles, and that's showing off how good I am at word puzzles. But there's one thing I like even more than that, being praised for it by a beautifully realised narrator with a voice like a chocolate beanbag chair. I only wish there'd been more of Cryptmaster, and that the voice actor would rescind his restraining order. I was going to give Wuthering Waves a pass for the hot anime babes, but then I realised that a hot anime babe standing around being boring is worse than a drab character doing it because it's a waste of perfectly good booty shorts. I'd call it mind-numbingly, soul-crushingly repetitive and obtuse, but it's a gacha game, so it'd probably take that as a compliment for a job well done. Look, I don't need to explain this one. You know Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League sucks balls, I know it sucks balls, and apparently its creators know better than any of us that it sucks balls, because they're already shutting down support for it. No reason we can't give it one last kick in the bum as it's heading out the door, though. Should have stopped after the first word of your title, Dick Munch. The big indie title fight for me this year was Best Souls-like where you play a cute animal, with the final round coming down to 9 Souls or another Crab's Treasure. Both good games, but Crabs has the edge for me because it didn't smash me over the head with excessive difficulty, and I understood everything that happened in the plot, and that certainly is innovative for a Souls-like. Another big winner from the games I completely forgot I played this year stable, V-Rising really should have asked itself, what is the principal activity performed by our badass vampire protagonist? And when the answer came back not as kicking ass and drinking blood, but wallpapering and menacing random trees and bits of rock, that was the first time they should have gone back to formula. Stripping the shitty Assassin's Creed part out of Assassin's Creed Black Flag to leave only the superlative pirating gameplay, how could you fuck that up? Well, Ubisoft will find a way, Jeff Goldblum voice. What you do is you make it a boring live service crafter and pare the gameplay down until it's basically a playing with toy boats in the bath simulator. Except you have to grind up popping bubbles for an hour before you're allowed to turn on the hot tap. This might be a surprise pick, but I realised looking back over my 2024 reviews that Pacific Drive was the game I most wanted to play again. It's a beautifully crafted mix of exploration, mystery, satisfying short-term achievements, interesting long-term ones, exciting car chases and extreme survival broken up with nice meditative car maintenance sessions. It is a dad game, but I'm a dad and it's my list. I officially gave up on representing mainstream tastes around the time I played the following. There was only ever going to be one winner in the Blandest competition, a boring, generic, unfocused Ubisoft open-world game with the Star Wars license. That's like the perfect combination of bilateral jokers that send your point multipliers to the fucking moon. Ubisoft really are in the shit right now. Maybe this will be the catalyst that makes them restructure and become better people, and then take me away on a rainbow chariot to the land of sherbet blowjobs, because now I am fucking dreaming. We never seem to fucking learn. You don't put a layer of Vegemite on the bottom of an ice cream sundae, and you don't make multiplayer-focused sequels to establish single-player franchises. That's strike one against South Park Snow Day. It's also flimsy, boring, poorly designed, and way too fucking short. I mean, if you're gonna bugger me senseless with a blunt instrument, at least use something long and sturdy that would make for an interesting conversation with the proctologist. Actually, that wasn't my real game of the year. My real game of the year was a little game called Starstruck Vagabond, which came out on Steam earlier in the year. It's a sort of sci-fi cozy life sim thing, and I really, really like it, and it's by a solo developer who's very close to my heart, and I have on good authority is in possession of an extremely large and satisfying penis. I wanted that to be my game of the year, but the other guys said, no, you can't make that the game of the year, some kind of ethics issue. I wasn't really paying attention. They also told me to say, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more useful content such as this. And also consider subscribing to the Patreon if you want to support us, you massive freeloading bastards. They didn't tell me to say the last part, that was an ad-lib. Happy New Year, by the way.